Hi, I'm Emmett Reed, Executive Director of the Florida Healthcare Association. Welcome to another edition of FHCA's Provider Program.
This is a Tallahassee update from the Florida Healthcare Association. Today will mark the end of the 2011 legislative session, and this week's program includes an update of what we know so far. The budget contains a 6.5% cut to nursing home funding, which amounts to a $187.5 million cut. With nearly 70% of nursing homes' operating costs paying for the people delivering residents quality care, we know facilities will have a difficult time recouping these cuts. Thankfully, the budget includes language to give providers some ability to offset these reductions with staffing flexibility to meet residents' needs. FHCA worked vigorously to advance tort reform as another means to help reduce your cost. Earlier this week, the full House passed House Bill 661 by Representatives Matt Gaetz and Sean Harrison, and I took time to speak with Representative Harrison shortly after the vote.
I'm standing outside of the House chamber with Representative Sean Harrison, where House Bill 661 has just passed the House. And Representative Harrison, you obviously had a big hand in this bill. Just talk a little bit about how you feel.
I feel great. It's a great bill, actually. It started off a little bit bigger, a little more aggressive than the ultimate final product, but we got something that we could pass. It still offers protections that are much needed.
You have really just worked tirelessly on behalf of the members of FHCA and all seniors throughout the state of Florida, so I just want to thank you on behalf of them.
Well, I appreciate that very much, and we've been. I've been a longtime friend of the profession. Very proud of that. Look forward to my next 7 years, next 7 sessions, to be able to help out even further.
In the Republican-led Senate, unfortunately, our tort reform bill was another story. While having a difficult time even getting our bill heard, Democrat Gary Siplin was the lone voice to stand up and run amendments with our tort reform language. I personally would like to thank Senator Gary Siplin for his brave help for tort reform and nursing homes. We want to thank everyone for the countless hours you spent advocating for this important issue. FHCA will continue educating legislators on your behalf about the importance of nursing home tort reform and the fact that lawsuits do nothing but take precious resources away from patient care. We're also watching the outcome of Medicaid reform using a managed care system. After a week of closed negotiations, the House and Senate reached an agreement which was presented to the full Senate yesterday. You'll recall FHCA's Long-Term Care Reform Task Force, Board of Directors, and our Florida Promise Steering Committee adopted a series of provisions that were necessary to protect quality care under a managed long-term care system. We're pleased to report that the Senate adopted a strike-all amendment containing most of those important protections for long-term care, which are also included in the House bill. Today, the House will take up the Senate's bill, and a final vote is expected before the close of session tonight. The budget results are tough on nursing home funding, but there is no question it could have been much worse. Florida was facing a $4 billion budget shortfall, and many providers saw significant cuts, including hospitals, which took a 12% hit. Discussions about nursing home reductions ranged as high as 15%, which would have been devastating. Over the past week, members sent thousands of emails to legislators. FHCA Executive Committee and our Florida Promise Steering Committee members personally traveled to Tallahassee and contacted key legislators. Thanks to your intense grassroots advocacy, we secured important protections for long-term care in the final Medicaid reform package, reduced the funding cuts down from the House conference package by $58 million, and obtained staffing flexibility to help you offset your costs. Your letters, phone calls, and visits with lawmakers throughout the session and in these final days made a huge and positive difference. A final vote on the budget is expected tonight, marking one of the last acts for the 2011 legislative session. Next week, FHCA members will receive a detailed recap on the outcomes of session, our long-term care priorities, and the bills we tracked and advocated for you on your behalf. Until next time, I'm Emmett Reed, keeping you informed about the critical issues that impact long-term care and the providers we represent.